Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday. So, we're gearing up towards the end. We wanted to kind of finish up the year with a project that I hope you will think is somewhat fun. I realize fun and school don't always go together, but let's just roll with it, people. Alrighty? Okay. So, today, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to podcasts. Okay. Some of you might be like super familiar with podcasts. Some of you might be right in the middle of the road, like, yeah, I know a little bit about them, but not much. Or some of you may either have no idea what a podcast is or have never experienced a podcast before. So, because we're going to have such a wide array, we're going to spend today just introducing you to podcasts. Tomorrow, what you're going to do is you're going to start planning your own podcast. Okay. And we will talk about this live in class tomorrow so that everybody kind of has an idea of what's going on. Tomorrow, you're going to choose the topic that your podcast is going to be about, and you're going to plan a little bit. Wednesday is going to be spent on whatever you need it to be spent on. So some of you might be interviewing people, some of you might be writing up a little script to read, and some of you may be recording. Thursday, you're going to finish your recording, and Friday, your podcast is due. So we're not even going to do First Chapter Friday this week, which I know some of you will be happy about. I am not super happy about it because I love First Chapter Friday, but I'll live. So Friday, your podcast is due. Okay. So that's what our week's going to look like. And it'll make a lot more sense as we get going. Right now, you probably have 1,000 questions. They will all be answered. If not today, then tomorrow. But today, we're just going to work on what is a podcast. Okay. So we're going to do some stupid trivia. Notice I've already disclaimered it. We're going to experience some different podcasts, and then we're going to, well, you guys are not going to share, the other group's going to share, but then we're going to let you have a space if you have any other questions to let me know what they are. So let us begin the stupid trivia. Number one, what is a podcast? Is it? Sorry about that. I had a slight interruption at my house. Let's start that again. What is a podcast? Is it a recording of audio discussion on a specific topic like business or travel that can be listened to? Or is it the pod where an alien lives? I told you this was stupid trivia. Clearly, the correct answer is A. A podcast is an audio discussion on a specific topic. And oh my gosh, can the topics be about anything? You should see the podcast that I subscribe to. I have everything from designer ones because I like to design things, to school related ones, to true crime because I'm kind of a true crime junkie. I mean, honestly, like you could, anything you have an interest in, I guarantee you there's a podcast about it. There's gaming podcasts, there's specific sports podcasts. I mean, there's just a ton. Okay, next stupid trivia question. Where can you hear podcasts? A, Mars. You can only hear them on Mars. Ask Elon. Or B, they're often found on iTunes and Spotify, but are sometimes hosted on websites. Well, as far as we know, you cannot hear them on Mars, although maybe Elon Musk is the only one who knows, but typically they're found on iTunes and Spotify. Spotify is where I listen to most of my podcasts, but sometimes you'll just find them embedded in websites, and you can also find them on iTunes. So that's where you would locate a podcast, and then you can just search for what topic you're looking for and get like a bazillion options. Stupid trivia number 3. What are podcasts about? Podcast choice A are focused on a particular topic or theme that is of interest to the host and the listener. Or B, aliens and UFOs. Actually, this is probably true in some cases, although I've never searched it because it's not something that really interests me. I'm sure there are podcasts about aliens and UFOs, but podcasts are actually focused on a particular topic or theme that's of interest to the host and the listener. Like I said, if you have something you like or are interested in, promise you there will be a podcast about it. Stupid trivia number whatever we're on. Why would you listen to a podcast? A, to learn more about a particular topic of interest or just to be entertained. Or B, I have no clue. Well, after today, your choice should not be B, it should be A. You would listen to a podcast to learn more about something you are interested in or just to be entertained. That's some other ones I follow are just like straight up humor ones, just to make me laugh. Next one. How's a podcaster different from a YouTuber? A, Markiplier forever. B, they are similar, but podcasts don't involve video like YouTube does. Podcasters aren't worried about what they look like. They're not worried about graphics. They're not worried about fancy effects. They are focused on content. So the only thing you might hear that's kind of quote unquote fancy is sounds, like sound effects, because obviously if you're listening to something, sound effects are going to be part of that. But podcasts don't have video. That's what makes podcasters very different from YouTubers. Okay. Like YouTubers have to put on a show. They have to act, they have to look a certain way, whatever. They have to have graphics, things like that. Podcasters aren't worried about those kinds of things. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to have you check out some actual podcasts. There's actually going to be 3. 2 of them are short, 1 of them is long. So, the first one is called So Chocolate Bar. Okay. The second one is called The Haunting Effect of Going Days Without Sleep. So, I forget, this one's maybe like 4 minutes. This one's about 7 minutes. The other one is quite a bit longer. Okay, I'm going to show you that one in a second. But what I want you to do is listen to these and think about these 3 things. Number 1, do you like it? It's okay if you say no, but do you like it? 2, who is talking? So who do you hear talking? And 3, what kinds of sounds do you hear besides interviews? So pay attention to music, pay attention to sound effects and those kinds of things. What audio besides the people speaking do you hear? Okay. And you are going to do that on a Google form that looks like this. Podcast trivia is what it starts with. So the same questions I just asked you, the stupid trivia questions, are on here. So I want you to just answer those to make sure that you show me that you kind of understood the gist of podcasts. Don't pick the goofy answer, just whatever. So that should be 5 easy points there. Now, this is where you're going to listen to the podcast. So I'm going to include the links in the assignment so you can just listen to them. So you want to start with So Chocolate Bar, and then you're going to answer who's talking, what kinds of sounds do you hear besides interviews, and right here the first one, what was this podcast about? So just like one sentence, what was it about? Okay. Round 2, you're going to listen to this sleep one. And again, you're going to answer what was it about, who's talking, what kinds of sounds do you hear? And then here's the one. So hopefully you're watching this video, because if you're watching this video, I'm about to make your life a little bit easier. If you pay attention, it says this podcast is long. It is 33 minutes. Only listen to the first 5 minutes. So here's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to email me and say, seriously, we have to listen to a 33-minute podcast? Well, if you listen to the video, which you are at this point, you will see you only need to listen to the first 5 minutes. It'll give you enough of an idea of what it's about. So again, this one's called Instagram Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger. You're going to talk about what was this podcast about? How is this similar to the others we heard today? And how is it different from the others we've heard today? Or if you are a podcast person like me, tell me how it's similar to others you've heard and how is it different. So you can either compare it to the ones we did today or ones that you know of for sure. And then final thoughts. So this is where you're just going to wrap it up. So after you've listened to the 3 podcasts, what types of sounds do podcasts include? What are some ways podcasts are structured? Here's what I mean by that. I'm going to just literally give you the answer right now. So your answers can be interviews, storytelling, presentation of facts. Those are your answers for that, right? What are some ways they're structured? Well, they might be structured like an interview. They might be structured as storytelling. They might be structured as like introduction of facts. Something like that. That's your answer for that question. So there you go. You're welcome. What type of podcast would interest you? So you can check as many as you want to. All right. That's it for today. It seems like a lot. It's going to go really fast. You just need to listen to the first part of those podcasts to kind of get an idea of what they're about, and then be thinking like, okay, if I were going to make a podcast like these, what would my topic be? Okay, what's something you know a lot about, you're really interested in, you really love? I mean, it could be honestly a video game, it could be an instrument you play, it could be skateboarding, it could be martial arts, it could be fishing, it could be golf, it could be comedy. I can't even begin to list the options because there are millions of them out there. So be thinking about that so that when you come to class tomorrow, you won't have to spend all class time thinking like, oh, I don't know what to pick. You'll already have an idea. Okay. I don't know what that voice was that I just did either, but just go with me. Alrighty, people. Have a fantastic Monday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.